What to do with your money in times of crisis. That's today's episode, and welcome to Notarize. So today's episode was created for every single one of you who has sent me a message or an email asking me, I have $30,000 in my account and I don't know what to do with it. What do you recommend? Well, first of all, before diving into any type of investment whatsoever, the very first advice I'm going to give you is to educate yourself. Why? Because there are a lot of people out there who are calling themselves to be the expert, and they will gladly take your money away with the excuse to grow your portfolio or grow your money. And by that, I'm not saying that there aren't people out there who are actually going to make your money grow, but you have to know how to identify them. You have to know how to pick them, how to select them. Otherwise, you're just practically giving your money away for free and helping them pay their rent and helping them pay their bills. And why should you? You've worked very hard to put that money away, to save that money away. And now you're just looking for a way to make that money grow because the economy is not doing so well. Perhaps you're a little bit concerned about what's happening with the interest rates going down and yada yada. So this episode was actually created for you. But first of all, do not forget, always educate yourself first. Now, let's just go straight into the tablet and explore your options, right? So let's assume that you, in fact, do have $30,000 in your bank account, right? So you have your bank account here and you are debating, should I leave my money there? Should I take it out? And truth be told, you shouldn't leave it there. Why? Because interest rates are nearly down to zero. And if you leave your money there, guess what's going to happen? The bank is going to take your money and they're going to lend it to someone else who will definitely make a good use of that money. So a bank is definitely not an option for you to leave your money at. Now, what's the next option for you to do? So we're talking about real estate, right? And with real estate, the tricky part about real estate and investing in real estate in times of crisis is the fact that you will need a lot of cash. Why? Because at this point in time, banks are actually tightening up their lending process, right? They are being very meticulous. They're being very difficult to deal with in terms of lending money. So if you're looking to invest in real estate, you better hope that this $30,000 in cash that you have will be enough to invest. And if not, you're going to have to explore some other alternative options. Some of them could be working with a hard money lender, right? And they are basically, for those who don't know, they're basically investors, private investors who are willing to lend you money at a rate of 10 to 12% interest so that you can use that money and invest. And they're typically short-term loans, right? So if you want to work with a hard money lender, you have to know for a fact that within a year, you have to repay that money back. So here's one option right here, right? Let's say, okay, you like the idea, but what about some other options out there? Well, there's also the stock market. And I know what a lot of you might think, a stock market, like, have you not seen how everything is going down like crazy? Everything is on the red zone. It's horrible. Why should I ever want to invest my money in it? Remember what Warren Buffett said, right? Investing in the stock market, it's all about buying low and selling high. And this, if anything, is the perfect timing. You want to wait until that goes to the lowest point as possible, the lowest point that you can take, and then immediately go in and buy low so you can start selling high once the economy recuperates. And the beauty about these two beautiful investment strategies is that you get losses. And you're probably wondering, what? Get losses? How is that wonderful? It is, in fact, very wonderful. Why? Because the U.S. tax code rewards losses. It rewards them. How? Through deductions. That's basically what it is. So let's say, for example, you invested your money and then at the end of the year, you wind up making $50,000. But at the same time, during that investment, you also lost $10,000. Let's say you made a very bad move in the stock market and you wind up losing $10,000. So you're going to get a deduction of $10,000 right here. And that means that your taxable income will only be $40,000. So what do you prefer? Do you prefer to pay taxes on this $50,000 amount, or do you prefer to pay taxes on this amount? I am pretty sure you prefer to pay taxes on the $40,000. Now, you might probably be thinking, okay, so now I know about real estate, I know about a stock market, I can definitely work with that. But what about my uncle? I have an uncle who has, let's say, for example, $50,000 safe in their account, and he doesn't know what to do with it, right? So what is the alternative option? He claims to be a little too old to do real estate now, and he definitely does not trust the real estate market given the ups and downs and the crazy roller coasters that I'm seeing. So what are his options, right? And remember a couple of episodes ago, I talked about the book, Why the Rich Keeps Getting Richer. And Robert Kiyosaki talks about 4 components that are very important to have in your investment portfolio. One is to have a cash flowing business, that without a doubt. And then the second one is to have investments in real estate. Then the third one is to have investment in the stock market. And then he talks about precious metals, right? And what do I mean by precious metals? So precious metals, I'm referring to gold or silver. Now, you might wonder why those 2 metals in particular. So these 2 metals right here, gold and silver, they have managed to survive hundreds and hundreds of civilization. There's not a single history book that you open up where you don't see gold as a form of currency. It has been the only form of currency that has survived. It has surpassed the dollar. It has survived any other paper currency that you have ever heard about in history. And when you invest in gold and silver, you're basically protecting your asset. You're protecting the value of that money. Who knows, maybe the dollar could go away eventually at one point or another, but because you invested that money in gold, you're preserving that metal. You are preserving that wealth that you worked so hard for to maintain. Now, you might wonder, okay, so how do I know exactly what type of gold to invest? You can't just go up and buy a random metal, right? So the gold that you're gonna focus on is the one that is 99.9% pure. And that's also popularly known as the 24-karat gold. Those are the ones that are going to be the right investment for you. Why do you want the 99.9%? Because that's the level of purity. It is 99.9% pure, which means you're purely buying gold. The remaining 0.1% that you see right here, it's because that gold needed to be mixed with some kind of metal in order to keep its consistency, because gold is very malleable. And what do I mean by malleable? It's a metal that can be shaped into pretty much anything. It's easily shaped with just, your own strength in your hand. So in order to keep that form, you have to mix it with something else. So that's pretty much all I have for you in today's episode. Do not forget to hit the like button and also share this episode with anyone in your family who's looking to diversify their portfolio and putting that money to use. And while I still have you here, do not forget to check this episode right here. That's going to help you complement everything you just learned today. And until then, I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye-bye.